I think a question you need to ask yourself is, how comfortable am I with myself and with my time alone? When you're alone, are you seeking externally? Are you on your phone doom scrolling? What are you doing when you're alone? Are you trying to find distractions, or are you fully in the present moment with yourself? Your time is valuable, your life is valuable, and it is up to you and to you only to choose to make it worthwhile. And so that all starts when you're alone. Welcome to the Work in Process podcast. I'm the host, Brenna. Nice to meet you. Essentially, we're going to be talking all things 20s. So much happens in your 20s, and we're all on so many different timelines. There's no reason for you to feel behind, not worthy, alone. Those are the worst feelings ever. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Let's talk about it. All right. Hey guys, it is Brenna. We are back for episode 2 of the Work in Process podcast. I am once again so happy that you're here, so happy that you're listening. It is an absolute pleasure to have you. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important topic, the most important topic in my personal opinion, and it is the power of being alone. Okay, guys, the power of being alone, being in your own energy, being in your own spot, being on your own, just being alone, guys. In this world, in today's world, it is so easy for all of us, myself included, to feel like we need to be doing something, going somewhere, being with somebody, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're dating, you feel like you need to be around friends. Instagram, social media, everything is like all about being with people a lot of the time. And like, even on your Instagram, I'm sure you felt this way, where you can't post too many solo pictures in a row. You have to have friends mixed in to make it seem like you're not a loner. Well, slow down. There is power in being alone. It's one of the most important parts of our lives, because really that's who we are at our core, is when we are alone. And so today I want to talk about that. So obviously, the scenery is a little bit different right now than the first episode. I am sitting on my bedroom floor. I decided to do this because I didn't really want to move my desk. I felt kind of lazy, but also because I was preparing for this episode on like in this exact spot in my room, like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, I'm spitting facts right now, slash, I just felt so energized and ready to record. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to get right into it on my bedroom floor. So don't mind the weird vibes. I lit some candles behind me just to build some type of ambiance. But yeah, we're on my bedroom floor today, guys. Episode 2, get pumped. The power of being alone. We're always made to think just naturally in conversation with your coworkers, with your parents, with anyone. People are like, oh, like, what are you doing? What are you up to? What's going on? How are you doing? How's your life doing? I was asked like 3 or 4 times by different coworkers this week, not saying they were doing anything wrong, but they're like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, it's a long weekend. Do you have any fun plans? Anything going on? And I'm like, honestly, like, not really. I was just like saying that I'm going to work on my podcast, kind of just lock in, be alone. And they're like, honestly, like, yeah, that's a vibe. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like when people ask what you're doing, especially over the weekend, you have to fill in, I'm doing this, I'm going there, I'm doing that. And I was just like, that's just not what's happening this weekend. I was called to make this episode because honestly, I'm having one of those weekends where I'm doing my own thing. I'm in my own world. I'm being alone. And like, it's not a lonely thing actually at all. It is one of the most important things. I'm not trying to say that like community is bad, because it is so important to have friendship and to have family and to have love and to have community. That is like so vital to who we are as human beings. You get energy from those around you, but at the same time, you also get a lot of energy, like all of the energy that you give off to the world comes from within. and comes from yourself and comes from being alone, essentially. So we want to make sure that our time when we are by ourselves is beneficial. And it's not something where we're just like scrolling. And believe me, I do this all the time. I'm not saying don't scroll on social media. This is a form of social media. So I am not saying that at all. However, I'm saying that there is a form of a waste of time, and when time is actually used for a better purpose, your time with yourself is so much more valuable and brings so much more value into the world in the future than any interaction you're going to have with anybody. And I stand by this because one of my pastors said this quote last Sunday, and it stuck with me so much. And he said, the things you do in private and the person you are in private will eventually show up in your public life. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The things you do in private, the person that you are in private will eventually show up in your public life. And that is so true, guys. The good and the bad. The person you are by yourself and who you want to be becoming and you're working on when you're in your alone time will eventually show up in your future in good ways and in bad ways. So it is vital that when you are alone, when you have those opportunities to be in full solitude, not like don't talk to me, get away from me, but just like when you're like have a day where like you don't have much going on and you don't have to fill in a bunch of different plans and you're hanging out your apartment or you're just going to go on a long walk, make that time so important at night, especially. Build that nighttime routine, I'm telling you, or that morning routine, or something where you feel like you've given yourself some type of solitude, some type of alone time to just regroup, rebuild. As the bad stuff that you say to yourself in your alone time, let's say you're alone and you're like, I feel fat. That's a horrible thing to say to yourself, but like if you're looking at yourself in the mirror when you're alone, before you're going to go to dinner with your friends and you hate how you look and you're like, I hate the way you look, I don't like you, I don't like this outfit, you need to be better, you need to try harder, that's going to show up in your future public self, whether it be at that exact same day or in 3 months from now. You're going to start to see that. Other people are going to start to feel that from you. If you're about to go public speak or if you're about to go do a presentation or something and you're like, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you don't know what you're doing. All those talks that you have to yourself in a moment of solitude, those are not going to help you. It's really important that you believe all of the things that you say about yourself that are good to yourself, because then that'll continue to show up more. So it's like, instead of being like, I hate the way you look like shit, being like, you look great, you're trying, you're showing up today, I love your outfit, maybe you didn't work out today, but you're gonna work out tomorrow, you're human, you're beautiful, you're handsome, whatever, girl, whatever. Speaking those words into yourself, you will show up confident. Do not talk down to yourself, especially in all situations, but especially when you're alone, because that's a lot more powerful than in like a public setting. Your energy is grown and cultivated in solitude. Whether you need rest, you need to shower for like 30 minutes, you need to journal, you need to work out, whether you want to go to church alone. Guys, I have been wanting to do this for a long time. I think I'm going to do this at some point this year, but I want to go get dinner or get lunch alone. Like full on, I want to get a meal at like a nice place, a nice restaurant alone. Not go on my phone, be fully alone, like none of that. Just be fully in the moment alone at a meal. Like that's something that I want to do for myself. Maybe you go to the beach alone. Maybe you meditate alone. There's just so many different things that you can do alone that are fun and make you a more powerful human being. I think so many of us want to just show off into the world and, achieve stuff and have success, and all of that comes from within, guys. All of it comes from within, and all of those moments are generated when you are alone. Your belief about your potential, your belief about your capability, your belief about who you are as an individual is seen most clearly when you are by yourself, everyone. I am like preaching because I'm like, this podcast right now, I am alone. I'm in my room, I'm alone. So today, for example, I woke up this morning and I was like, the only thing I have to do today is bring my car to the car dealership to get an oil change. That's all. That's literally it. So then I got back to my apartment after dropping my car off at the dealership and I was like, wow, like, what do I do today? Like, whoa, like the day is like, it was like 9 a.m. I'm like, the day is so young. I didn't have any plans with anyone. The day was fully open. I was like, wow, like, what do I do? And then I had a moment and I was like, wait, oh my God, this like feeling of like loneliness. Maybe I'll call my mom. Like, I just felt these like feelings of like these like thoughts, loneliness. Loneliness is not real. It's not real, guys. Loneliness is such a lie. And it actually pissed me off because I realized I was like, wait, that's like just a lie. Like, I could be sitting here in my room thinking that I was so lonely and just be woe is me, or I could go on a walk. I could think about my podcast episode. I could put more energy into that. I could do things that clean up little areas of my life. I could pursue a creative outlet that I haven't been before, i.e., this podcast. I had to sit down with myself and be like, Brenna, you're not alone. Like, stop. And so in our 20s, guys, in our 20s, you would be lying to yourself if you didn't have a day or two or three or four where you woke up and you had little to no agenda, having nothing to do and just had a full day for yourself. Guys, what an opportunity that is. In our 20s, before we have more responsibilities in different ways, before we have children, before we have to do X, Y, Z. And believe me, I have so many days where I'm just so busy. I naturally am a busy person. I always have things to do, usually involving people. But today was one of those days where I was like, okay, like this is a day of solitude. It's becoming a day of solitude in a really good way. I'm going to use it in a good way. I'm not going to use it in a day that drains me, makes me feel sad and lonely and not good enough. No, I'm going to use this moment of solitude to energize me and put greatness inside of me and just build me into a better individual and grow me up more and more and more. And so that's what I did. It's intentionally building the time that you have in private with yourself to show up an even better individual when you are around other people. So in our 20s, when you have pockets of time, whether it be weeks, whether it be days, whether it be hours of just you, yourself, and yourself, use that. And don't view it as, woe is me, I'm lonely. No, you're not. That's a lie. Circle back and use that time to your benefit. This month, maybe challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone and do something by yourself that maybe you wouldn't normally do. Going on a walk by yourself with no headphones on. Going to a workout class alone, not knowing anybody. Maybe it is going out to a meal by yourself with no phone and reminding yourself of the power that you have in your alone time. Reminding yourself how capable you are, how much potential you have, how strong you are, how amazingly unique you are in your alone time. It's vital. It's just so important, guys. Maybe there's somebody out there who feels really lonely. Maybe you're someone that's like, Brenna, I have spent the past week alone. Maybe you're somebody that's around people but feels really alone. And those are real, valid feelings, but they're not true. It's not true. Like, it's actually a lie that you are believing about yourself. If you're somebody that actually is feeling and struggling with alone time, maybe you either don't have enough alone time and you're like, okay, Brett, I'm going to start building that into my life now. Maybe you're somebody that has too much alone time and you're like, I need more community. I need more, I want more community. I want closer relationship. Then seek it. Actively seek it and you will find it. If you're somebody that's like, oh, I feel like I have alone time like 3 to 4 days in a week, like, or every weekend I'm alone. Okay, well then do something about it. Put yourself out there. be uncomfortable. There's so much power in being alone, right? But the one of the biggest like negative feeling that comes from being alone and with yourself is the feeling of loneliness. And that's a really strong like feeling, and that's a really negative feeling that we've all felt at some point in our lives. When something is so negative and it's like a strong feeling that you can have when you're alone, there's also just like a huge positive on the other side of it that is possible if you view it that way. So if you're alone, you're like, oh, I'm so lonely. I just am depressed. This is so hard. Shifting your mindset and being like, wait, this is actually an opportunity for me to make myself a better individual, to grow myself, to explore a creative side, to maybe find something that I'm passionate about, maybe to reach out to an old friend, maybe to talk to an old family member, maybe to exercise. Intentionally find something that you enjoy doing that energizes you, and then that like kind of brings you out of that like sad period of like loneliness, like just finding a little hobby or project or thing to like research or whatever. So really at the end of the day, it's about what you're telling yourself is true. It's about what you believe to be true for yourself, for your life, our beliefs, all of those things, our feelings, our self-awareness, all those things come to light when we're alone. If you're telling yourself great things when you're alone, when you're with people, when you're doing things, then you are only going to increase and get better and improve and just grow numerously, and opportunities are going to come to you. If you're telling yourself things when you're alone that are negative, they are going to start to infiltrate not only into you, like that's immediately you absorbing all of those negative feelings. That's going to infiltrate into your job, your friendships, your family, your relationships across the board. And it's just going to like put you in further solitude and isolation. So it's like so important that when you're alone, that you're feeding yourself. It's like food, feeding yourself real amazing thoughts and feelings, and just doing things for yourself that make you feel powerful. I think a question you need to ask yourself is, how comfortable am I with myself and with my time alone? When you're alone, are you seeking externally? Are you on your phone doom scrolling? What are you doing when you're alone? Are you trying to find distractions, or are you fully in the present moment with yourself? Your time is valuable. Your life is valuable. And it is up to you and to you only to choose to make it worthwhile. And so that all starts when you're alone. I used to really struggle with being alone. I used to think that it was like I was a loser if I was alone, which is so far from the truth. But I used to be like, I need to be with friends, I need to be posting with people, I need to have a lot of friendships, I need to have more and more and more and more and more. And then you realize, wait, I don't. Like, just being busy-minded and being around people doesn't mean that you are happy and fulfilled. You are your greatest asset if you make yourself your greatest asset. So it is fully up to you to determine your next step. It's up to you to choose what type of energy you're going to allow to creep into your life. It is up to you what type of energy you pursue. We have a lot of choices to make in this world, and so make good choices for yourself. Be nice to yourself. Take good care of yourself, especially when you're alone. It's important that we hear this message that community is amazing, friendship, love, family is important and vital for us as human beings. But at the same time, you are very important. Your time alone is extremely important and valuable, and a necessity for it to be beneficial is if you feed yourself good energy, good thoughts, good vibes, and enjoy your alone time while you have it. Please share this episode and get this out there. Thank you for listening. Episode 2, The Power of Being Alone. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and tune in for episode 3 next month. All right, bye guys.